Hello and welcome to NDTV. I'm Rohit Khilnani. 2019 was an interesting year at the movies and we got you the best interviews from the world of Bollywood. So in the next half hour, sit back, relax because I will get you the highlights of 2019. War was the biggest hit of this year. I sat down with Hrithik Roshan and Tiger Shroff. Since they love each other so much, I got them talking about each other. Listen in. Tiger, my first question is, what is your first memory of Hrithik Roshan?
My first memory of Hrithik Roshan is my father was shooting for a film called King Uncle.
Right.
With Rakesh sir.
Yeah.
Rakesh ji. And Hrithik was an assistant on that film. And I was around 4 years old, I think, around that time. And vaguely remember, spending time with... with dad on the sets, and I don't know if I remember Hrithik exactly what we were doing or whatever, but my dad told him to just look after me for a bit. And Hrithik was really happy about that because he got to come to the good hotel because he was with the assistants. His dad was very strict with him, so he put him with the assistants and all. So I was there, and this is what Hrithik sir told me, that I was damn happy because I got to order orange juice and this and that. So I ordered some stuff.
That's interesting.
At the same time, we hung out.
Right. And then cut to being on a set with him.
It's amazing.
Yeah. What was, tell us what was the first day like? There's so much interest in...
I can't tell you how nervous I was and how shaky I was. I wanted to, do all the right things, and I just wanted... his appreciation, and I just wanted him so badly to say, man, Tiger, great shot, or good job. And so that was going on in my mind. I was like, I hope I don't mess up. I hope I don't mess up.
Right.
And because, here you are, working with your idol. How do you not show that you're not starstruck by him? So, after the first shot, it was, nerves were settled, and I remember him saying, man, great shot, and I liked what you did and whatever, and so that sort of just put me at ease.
Right, that must be good to hear, especially from someone like
when I hear praise from my hero, it's like I can't ask for more.
There's so much anticipation about you and Tiger coming together. Everybody wanted it way before this casting even happened. At what point did both of you come into this project? Did you hear it first? Did he hear it first?
I heard it first.
Right.
And then I told Sid that
get him on board.
Okay, I can, but you know what? You need Tiger, man. Without Tiger, this film just will not work.
Right.
So if he's on, I'm on.
Wow.
That's what I said.
And he can't stop praising you. I just interviewed him just 5 minutes ago, and I asked him your first memory of Hrithik Roshan. He told me his story. What is your first memory of Tiger?
I have so many.
First.
My very first one is one I think Tiger might not remember. But my first one is when my father was shooting with his dad, and our fathers were working, and I was the assistant
for King Uncle.
For King Uncle, and he had come along with his dad, and that's my first memory of him.
Wow,
yeah.
That's amazing to hear from you. The other big hit of 2019 was Mission Mongol. I also interviewed the cast of Mission Mongol, that's Akshay Kumar, Taapsee Pannu and Vidya Balan. What a performance by each one of them. Listen to what they had to say. Joining me is this fantastic team of Mission Mongol, Taapsee, Vidya, Akshay Kumar. Thank you so much, firstly, for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.
We have all watched this on the news. When it happens, we feel so proud. But every time we watch a film, we get to know a little more.
Yeah.
Does it happen with you all when you all do a film?
Yeah, we come to know a lot through the script, through the screenplay, through the director, through the writer, through what thing happened. Then you start, because you are involved in it, then you start Googling it, then you start finding out, then you start seeing YouTubes, then you start reading a piece of papers and everything. You just keep on finding until you realize what a big thing it was. Yeah, and then it is great that we have the power to put it in cinema and bring it in front of everyone.
Right.
Just like this, I have experienced this throughout a lot since last at least 5 years when I got airlift. Nobody even knew about it. Even the media didn't know about it.
True.
That 1,70,000 people were saved. and it's in World Guinness record,
Right.
the biggest airlift which was happened. So like that, lots of things. So I think we are very lucky to have this power to tell people about it, to teach people about it.
Right.
Just like how the mother teaches, माँ जैसे सिखाती है, हम सिने माँ के थ्रू से सिखाते हैं.
Amazing. This is the line. Vidya, what is it that you got to know while doing it that you didn't know earlier about this mission?
Lots of things. One had just seen that image in the paper and felt very proud that, there were so many women involved in the mission.
Yeah.
But when you start, like he said, researching and all that, the details are just amazing. The challenges they faced while trying to make this happen, it's unbelievable, which is why in the first promo, if you remember the trailer, everyone says impossible, impossible, impossible. And that's why it becomes all the more significant. You feel like it's not just a mission to Mars. They made the impossible possible. So, I think that's damn fascinating.
Right. Tapsi, anything that you can share that you didn't know about this?
See, I've been a science student, so a lot of these words and terms that we use in the film were not that alien to me. But because I did not know what exactly did they use in this particular mission. When we read the news, we knew it happened and it was difficult and it was in this controlled cost and all. But the science behind it was not something that's written in papers, right? So being a science student, when I got to know about this in the script, when Jagan was explaining me the whole thing, so that I could recall the things that I have learned and understand that how it would have really happened, be it not in that kind of deep technical way, but at least because I'm familiar with the theorems and concepts quite a bit, so I could understand, which was quite exciting for me to see, because I've never used the science part of me in my film till now, until this one.
So she used to intimidate us sometimes, saying, oh, yes.
We had a lot of actors like this. We had a lot of actors like this. Okay, by the way, you did science too?
No.
Because I did science.
What? You did?
Yeah.
You knew all this?
No.
Which science did you do?
No, I took science in Khalsa College.
Oh, really?
You took science, that's great.
Yeah,
and then you...
Biology?
Then science took me and removed me out. क्या मजा आ रहा है
कोई नहीं
सारा
कभी तो हमको मौका मिलता है
कभी तो पूरी फिल्म में तुम लोगों ने मेरी बेइज्जती की है
Now you can understand there was only one bully on the set.
I can see. Yeah.
What?
Actually. Tapsi,
it's changing.
And we all know Tapsi never lies.
Yeah, I never lie.
He is a big bully. इसकी आंखों में शैतानियत है.
Really, I don't even know how to react.
इसकी आंखों में.
Do I look like someone?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I don't know what to say.
But both of them together. She's the one who conspires.
He has to be a part of it.
And he
ये जब पैदा हुई थी तो डॉक्टर ने बोला था मुबारक हो आपके घर शैतान आया.
अरे ट्रेलर लॉन्च तक तो नेशनल अवार्ड था, अभी शैतान हो गए, पता नहीं कितने बदले.
पता नहीं क्या बोला था.
I should ask my mom. कितना घंटा लगा?
कितने नर्सों ने आके बोला था.
2019 also saw Student of the Year 2, where some stars were born. There was Ananya Panday, Sutaria, and with them was Tiger Shroff. I had fun doing this interview. Take a look. Joining me is the cast of Student of the Year 2. Guys, good to see you. Good to interview young people always. So welcome to NDTV.
Thank you so much.
It's always nice to meet people who we have not met before. So Tiger, obviously I've interviewed a couple of times. And first time with you guys. How is this phase? Exciting?
It's beyond exciting. I think it feels surreal and somehow magical in a way. It's too exciting.
Right.
Yeah, I think we have so many firsts happening. Like we had our first trailer launch, our first song launch, our first city visit. So I think there's so many firsts happening and that's so exciting.
Right. Yeah. Tiger, you relate to your first film excitement when they say these things?
They seem a lot more confident than I was back in the day. But I do relate in certain things in that, how the first time our trailer came out, what they felt and all those feelings they went through, all those things, I sort of gathered from them and I gave them my sort of Vishesh Tiffany on that. And it's great to see what they're going through, and you know, when people go up to them and ask for autographs and stuff, it's a good feeling to see.
Right.
You know, I mean, I started with these girls a year ago, and now where they are.
Right. What was his Vishesh Tippani?
I think Tiger's always spoken about being positive, and I think we had a really nice chat on the plane yesterday coming back, because he spoke a lot about just being positive, and like, you know, there's a lot of fluff and you hear a lot of things around you, but you just need to like send out to the universe what you really want, and the power of just like manifesting your dreams and making that come true, because that's something he's done and he's followed, and I think that's really important, to just be positive, because there's so much negativity out there, and just being positive and focused on what you actually want.
Right. It's quite surprising. We have interviewed a lot of newcomers. How do you guys know all this?
Tiger. We have Tiger. Yeah.
Right. Also, you know, Puneet told me, I was before chatting with you all, I thought it's a good idea to chat with him. He said, I said, when was the first time they got mobbed? So he said, during the first schedule, Tiger's car was mobbed in Lucknow, in Dehradun, and yours was not at that time. Do you remember that?
I actually remember that because one time I was traveling with Tiger behind and he was sitting in front, and we were just like chatting, and suddenly I remember the car was shaking. I felt like the glass would break, and it was absolutely insane. The first time I've experienced something like that. He was so calm and cool on his phone, acting as if nothing happened, and I was freaking out. I was like, oh, this happens all the time, and it was so cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Tiger, how do you stay cool when something like that is happening? It's so overwhelming also.
You know, it's just a lot of love from, you know, the fans. It's just, I just feel like, you know, waving to them. No matter how scared I get from the inside, I can't show them that I'm petrified. Don't kill me.
Right.
I just try to, you know, smile and wave back and just make eye contact with as many of them as possible, and give them that attention that they're giving me, because that means the world to them. And we are what we are because of them.
Up next is Katrina Kaif. She starred in Bharat opposite Salman Khan. Salman thought she deserves all the honors. Listen to what Katrina Kaif had to say to us. I've read all your interviews and seen all your interviews in the past few days. This time you're very passionately talking about it. You always are passionate about it, but either you're very more excited about it. Is it because of the script that you think this really has an X factor or something?
I just think so. I think that this was something which really connected to me, and I really got excited about it.
Right.
And I was able to put that in, and I was able to put that work into it and try and come up with something different.
Right. And you're looking different. Of course, this is the 70s.
This particular look that you see here is when she's in her 40s.
Okay.
So this is in around 1995 in the film.
Okay.
When you first see my character, it's in 1970s. So that's when you see in the employment exchange in Abu Dhabi, where she's working in the oil refinery. She's working in the government office, and then later, as the film goes on, she changes. She changes her profession. She works actually as a newsreader. So nice. We had some really interesting references for those visuals, and because the film spans over around 40 years from the time I come in. Before that, it's even there more 30 years. So Ali wanted to show, and what the story is doing is also showing key memorable moments that we all associate that time and that era with. So whether it was the World Cup, whether it's different key moments that that have happened.
Right. This is your fifth movie with Salman, or
yes,
fifth, right?
Yeah.
If I ask you, do you remember what was he like on the sets of Maine Pyar Kyun Kiya?
I really can't remember, but I can remember very distinctly on Partner being very intimidated because of Govinda, Salman and David Ji together and the way they would improvise their scenes.
Right.
So here you are as a new actor. I mean, they just improvise. They do anything. And here you are as an actor. You're just hoping desperately that, you're told in advance what you have to do, and improvisation is something that you have to do, really have a lot of experience for as an actor, or at least know your character in the film really well.
Right.
Now, at that point in Partner, David Ji would not give us the script, so you don't have the script.
You don't have the full script?
No. So you it's like, those days were
Those days were very nerve-wracking, is the way to put it.
Very nerve-wracking,
Yeah.
I can imagine. But then what do you go by? You just go by your faith in the director and the producer? Or?
Yeah, you just have to be there and put yourself completely in their hands and be completely alert, be very attentive and put yourself in
That
their
is
hands.
very brave of you to,
It's
you know,
brave.
it's very brave, but has
that's
it worked?
how a lot of films were like that.
Like
back
that,
then.
right.
Very frankly, a lot of the first, probably, Namaste London was the first bound script which I had. So all my films before that, I did not have a bound script.
Okay. In fact, you know, all the actors who we interviewed from earlier, they say that this is how we used to work.
Yeah,
and we used
it
to do a lot of films for each other. Ki, "Arey, tu meri picture kar le, tu meri picture kar le." Did you also do that?
No, in my sense, it was actually more of me going to the director or producer's office and saying, meeting them and saying, sir, I heard, you're making this film. I would love to be a part of it. And you go as a struggler and you do your rounds, and some films you get, some films you don't. And
was it tough?
I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it,
there was no negativity or there was no frustration during that phase. There was a lot of excitement and looking forward to things, and a lot of excitement for life, I think.
Also, I also watched Salman's interview, and again, I know him for many years, and I know when he says it and when he means it. He's usually very naughty,
That's
and
tough.
That's very tough.
Yeah.
But I think I have got that.
Okay.
So when he says that you should win a national award for this, it's not something that he's just saying as a passing thing. He's seen you work through it. He thinks you deserve it. What do you think made him say that?
It's just his opinion, I guess. He's been part of the film. I think it's a special film for all of us.
Right.
He sees Bharat as a special film for himself as an actor. Ali sees it as a special film because the story, it's a very beautiful story.
Right.
I saw it as probably one of the best roles of my career so far, and I think that Salman feels, I guess, for him when everyone sat to see the film, he feels that I did justice to what was given to me to do. In terms of awards, I mean, this is something which is always wonderful when you get praise, and it's always lovely when you get that feedback. But the ultimate importance is the audience. The ultimate validation is the feedback on the day of release, that the audience have accepted and liked the film.
Right, but that's why he didn't say some XYZ an award. He said national award. Because I think he said, I think it comes out of respect for the award.
For respect for the awards. I mean, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, who would not want to win, the national award? But I think we have to take one step
at a time.
As it comes.
Right. And now it's time to get you the big interview of 2019 that I did with Mr. Amitabh Bachchan after his film Badla. Since it was a thriller, it was a big deal to keep the end a secret. I asked him how do they manage that in today's day and age. Listen to what Mr. Amitabh Bachchan had to say. Joining me is Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. Sir, firstly, thank you so much for giving me time.
Thank you for having me.
So it's been very long. There was a time you did at least 200-300 interviews for a film, and we haven't seen you in a long time. What happened?
I just feel that this was a film that needed to be treated differently.
Right.
The story, the subject, the idea was different. So we really didn't know how to go about the marketing and promoting of the film.
Right.
So when we had a meeting with the marketing team, this is what came through, that try and avoid the usual because the film was unusual. And here we are.
Right. So how do you maintain secrecy in a film like that? Because it's so important that the end doesn't come out. People who are on the sets, your marketing team, and even in interviews or at an event launch, nobody says anything. Is it tough to hold that in today's times in the mobile age?
No, not really. There's a certain protocol when you do something which is, needed to be kept a secret or confidential.
Right.
But you wait till the Friday, and after the Friday, the whole world knows about it. So, it's just that one day and the first show.
Right. But even after Friday, would you prefer if people don't spread the word? Because for a thriller, it's so important.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of the interviews that I've seen of people coming out of theatres and asking them, and they themselves are saying, we're not going to talk about the end because we want it to be a surprise. That's very graceful of them.
Right.
But, I think once the end is out, still people do go and see it.
Right.
To say that the prospects of a film will suffer because the end is already known is not entirely true. There are many successful films which are in the same genre.
Right.
The end is known. You know what's going to happen, but you still go and see it. I mean, old films like Mahal, which ran for years, all Hitchcock's films.
Right.
Kahani or Sujoy's film.
Of course.
They all did fairly well, despite the fact that everyone knew what the end was.
Right. So after doing so much work, Badla has got great reviews, good numbers, great appreciation from the audience, people who are coming out of the theatres and even tweeting. Is it still exciting for the actor in you?
Oh yes, yeah. I think when you create something, when you're involved in a product, you obviously want it to be seen by as many people as possible. And their appreciation is always most welcome.
Right.
Their criticism as well. Everyone's not going to like everything that you do. And they come out with pointers. I don't know about the others, but yes, I would like to make note of it, see if we can improve on it the next time around. There are some things which we are not aware of during the making, and sometimes, critics like you who have the ability to analyze a film dispassionately are able to bring out, points which may not have occurred to us at all. Audiences suddenly come out with an idea or a thought, something they may have noticed in the film. And that's interesting because next time around you're conscious of that. Make sure it doesn't happen again.
So those were the best interviews of 2019. I promise to get you the best from the world of Bollywood in 2020 as well. Have a fantastic new year and stick around to NDTV 24/7.